That should be great. Oh, I think I'm a little low. I'm gonna lower it for right now just because the menu music is so gosh dang loud. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, it's me. Hi, Tech. Hey, what's up? Tech Turncoat. Hey, what's up? It's a me. And the most ridiculous thing I heard recently is that USB-C and USB Type-C are two very different things. Well, that's a very long tirade that I went through in my head, and I do not want to have to do it again. How you doing, guys? Hope you guys have had a great week. Ideally, this one's going to be a little longer than the last one. Or just longer in general, because the last one was so short. But, the idea is still to continue going towards till the end of the night. We'll see where that takes us. So, without any further ado, let me just turn this back up. And we'll make for this new thing. She moves faster than I can think. The knightly girl leaps out of the shed without hesitation. It's Saber. I get up and follow the girl, even forgetting the pain in my body. There's no way that girl will be a match for him. Even armored like that girl is smaller than me. Stop! My words are silenced by sound. What? I can't believe my eyes. This time, my head really does go blank. What is she? The sound of weapons. The moon is hidden behind the clouds, and the yard has returned to its original darkness. In it, sparks are born from steel hitting steel. The lance-wielding man wordlessly attacks the girl who just jumped out of the shed. But the girl parries the blow of the lance and knocks away all following attacks, driving the man back with every blow. I can't believe it. Kicking his ass. There we go. Battle has begun. What happened between me and him earlier was not a battle. A battle is a fight between two people who can kill each other. Whatever the difference in skill, if each has a way to kill the other, then you can call it a battle. Their fight is a battle in that sense too. The man's lance, I couldn't even see his throne with even more power. The girl parries with the thing in her hands and closes in on the man. Damn! The man retreats a bit. He holds his lance vertically to protect his ribs as the girl goes for them. For a moment, the man's lance glows. It was like a blow, like an explosion, and I guess it really was one. The instant the man blocks the thing the girl is holding, the lance in his hand glows as if electrified. The man, and even I, can tell what it is. It is a force of magical energy so strong that it's visible. In each of the girl's blows is a terrible amount of magical energy. The outrageous amount of magical energy is penetrating the opponent's weapon just by touching it. Such a thing, it would take such force just to block it. If you think that the man's lance is an accurate sniper rifle, the blows of the girl like those of a powerful shotgun. Every time the girl swings, the yard is filled with light. But that isn't what's overpowering the man. Coward, what are you doing hiding your weapon? The man complains while avoiding the girl's fierce attacks. The girl doesn't answer, but her only attacks even more with the thing in her hands. You! The man retreats with not even a chance for a counterattack. Because the girl's weapon is invisible. As he cannot sense her range, it would be careless to attack recklessly. Yes, it is invisible. Air even. The girl definitely has something in her hand. But you can't see what shape it is, nor how long it is. You can't really tell anything about it. Perhaps it's totally invisible, as it does not show up even when sparks fly from it. She must be having a hard time defending it, as his moves aren't sharp. And the girl lets out a voice for the first time. She swings her weapon with more fury. The storm swings without pause. Flying sparks reminds me of a blacksmith hitting iron. The lance-wielding man blocks them, licking his tongue. I must say, I admire your skills even though he tried to kill me. The man's blocking invisible blows, watching only the opponent's legs and arms. Well, that's it. You only need to beat down on someone who's gone on defensive. As if to say so, the girl steps even closer to the man and delivers a blow with all her might as if smashing him down. Is that her? Don't underestimate me, fool! You must see this opportunity as the man disappears. No, he jumped back, making it look like he disappeared. The girl's blow cuts through the air, destroys the ground, kicking up dust. The blow swung was the final one, was easily dodged. Idiot! What is she doing? I can tell even from a distance. I don't know about the careful blows from before, but such a big blow won't be able to touch that guy. Even that man's body must have been straining under all those attacks. But he suppressed it for an instant and jumped away, as if this blow will determine the victor. The man who jumped back several meters jumps as soon as he lands. As if reversing his retreat, he jumps at the girl. In contrast, the girl still has her sword in the ground. That opening is irrevocable. The red lance returns in less than a second, and the girl twirls her body with the sword still in the ground. So the contest lasts less than a second. The man sees his mistake and tries to hold back, while the girl uses her whole body to execute her blow. The man blown away, and the girl who blew him away, both seemed discontent. They each launched their blows to kill each other. Even if they're allowed them to escape immediate danger, they were worthless. Their distance opens. The two stare at each other, silently. What's wrong, Lancer? It would not do your name credit if you just stand there. If you will not come, I can. You're gonna come and die? I don't mind, but let me ask you this first. Your noble phantasm. Is it a sword? The man glares as if staring right into her heart. Who knows? It might be a battle axe, or it might be a spear. It might even be a bow, Lancer. Keep talking, Saber. Perhaps it really is funny for him. The man, the one called Lancer, lowers his lance. Looks like he's indicating that he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl's puzzled by Lancer's action. But I remember that stance. It was used in that fight a few hours ago in the schoolyard. It's the fatal move that was supposed to have ended the show. I'll ask just in case since this is our first meeting. Do you want to call it even? Not a bad deal, right? See, that senile master over there is useless, and it just so happens that my master is a coward. I think it's in both our interests to hold off on this match till we're better prepared. I refuse. You will fall here, Lancer. I see. Jeez, all I wanted to do was check things out, you know? I didn't want to stay long once the servant came out. The air around them stored. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill runs through the air at that moment. It's exactly like back then. The magical energy rumbles in a whirlpool centered on that lance. Noble phantasm. Nor readies her apparent sword and glares at the enemy in front of her. The girl, facing the enemy, knows better than I how dangerous he is. See ya. I'll take that heart of yours! The beast jumps. Lancer instantly appears in front of the girl as if he teleported in. Thrusts his lance at the girl's feet. It was a bad move even in my eyes. With the lance already lowered, it wouldn't be effective to aim low at her. To prove my point, the girl jumps over the lance and moves forward to slash Lancer away. At that moment. Yay! With words themselves charged with magical energy. Bulg! The lance thrust at the girl's feet rushes towards her heart. Her body rises into the air. The girl is driven up into the air by the blow of the lance, and she crashes down. No, lands on the ground. She's bleeding. The girl hasn't even received a scratch so far as bleeding badly from her chest. Yes! No. A reversal causality. I'm surprised too. No, since I saw it from a distance, I can tell better than her that the attack just now was a strange one. The lance was definitely aimed at her feet, but it suddenly changed its course, moving strangely in impossible directions, and pierced the girl's heart. But the lance itself hadn't grown or bent. It looks so natural that it makes one think that the lance was already in her heart, and for that reason it's weird. It's not simple as the lance changing its course and piercing her heart. The lance didn't change its course, but changed the means so that the result would be so. The lance thrust with the name, it carried the result of piercing her heart as a premise. In other words, the process and the result are reversed. As long as there was the result of the lance piercing her heart, the course of the lance was merely something added later to prove that fact. An evil thorn that breaks through all defenses. A lance that pierces the heart every time it's used. A weapon that determines your fate just by its use. How can anyone block such a ridiculous attack? However the enemy tries to dodge it, the lance will pierce their heart without fail. That's why this move is fatal. The cursed lance that always pierces the opponent with one thrust. But the girl has evaded by a small margin. She's wounded, but it was not a fatal blow. In a sense, her actions were more impossible than the lance. The instant the lance was thrust, she jumped and turned, with all her might, as if she knew what was going to happen. Either she had incredible luck, or enough divine protection to nullify the curse of the lance. Either way, she avoided a fatal blow, and sullied the lance's name. The girl catches her breath. The blood that was running so much has stopped, and even her stab wound is healing. I guess that's extraordinary. I knew she wasn't normal, but still, this is too strange. Like her skills to fight against Lancer, like the incredible magical energy in each of her blows, and like a body that heals by itself, this girl clearly surpasses Lancer. But that was only up till now. Even if it's healing, her wound is deep. If Lancer attacks her now, she'll be defeated without even being able to defend herself. But with his overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He glares at the girl, gritting his teeth so hard I can hear it. You evaded it, Saber. My fatal gay bulg! A voice that seems to echo from the ground. God, he's so fucking big compared to her. Gay bulg? You are Ireland's man of light. Child, but technically, yeah. Lancer frowns. His hospitality disappears and he clucks his tongue in annoyance. I screwed up. If I'm gonna use this move, it needs to be fatal. Jeez. I guess being too famous is bad too. The pressure goes away. Lancer doesn't even attack the wounded girl, and simply turns his back and moves to the edge of the yard. It is a rule of servants to fight to the death if your identity is discovered. But unfortunately, my master is a coward. He's telling me to go back since you have evaded my lance. You are running away, Lancer. Yeah, I don't mind if you come after me, Saber. Just be prepared to die when you do. With one bound, Lancer easily jumps over the wall and disappears. Wait, Lancer! The wounded girl starts running to pursue the enemy. She's stupid? I run through the yard with all my strength. The girl will go after him if I don't stop her instantly. But There was no need for that. When the girl tries to jump over the wall, she clenches her chest and stops. I run to her and stare at her. No, I tried to approach and call out to her, but I forgot at the instant I come near her. To put it simply, everything about her is absurd. Now that I'm near her, I can tell that the shining armor she wears is really heavy. It's also very interestingly designed. It's a very cool way to have like a dress and armor, like a belt. It's nice. Anyway, the old-fashioned cloth is smooth, a vivid blue. But that isn't really what fascinates me. The girl who seems to be a few years younger than me is beautiful. The golden hair lit by the moonlight is finely textured, as if sprinkled with gold dust. The face, with some sign of naivete, has elegance, and her white skin looks soft. I can't call out to her because I'm fascinated by her beauty, and also for another reason. Why? Because seeing this girl fighting and getting hurt somehow made me mad. And all the while I'm fascinated with her, the girl has her hand on her chest. But that ends quickly. The girl lets her chest go and looks up as if the pain has gone away. She stares directly at me. I'm not sure how I should talk to her, but I noticed something about her. The wound is gone? Even though it missed her heart, the lance stabbed her in the chest, but she's unscathed. I've heard of healing magics, but I didn't see her using any like that. So that must mean she automatically heals even when she's wounded. Then my brain switches gears. There's no time to be fascinated by her. She's a strange being. I can't let my guard down until I know what she is. Who are you? I take a step back and ask her. What do you mean? I am the servant Saber. You summoned me, so I do not think you should need to confirm it. The servant Saber. Yes, so please call me Saber. She replies without hesitation. Her tone is polite, yet gentle, and just hearing it makes my head go blank. What am I getting excited about? I see. Kind of a weird name, don't you think? I had my burning face with my hand and reply really stupidly. I don't really know what else to say, though. Oh, shit. Since I asked her name, isn't it natural for her to introduce herself? In this case, it would be impolite to stay silent like this. I'm Shirou. My name is Shirou Emiya, and I live in this house. What am I doing? My ass is getting stupider. But she told me her name, so I should answer too. I know I'm confused right now, but I have to be polite no matter who this is. The girl, Saber, just stares at me without changing her expression. No, wait, I take it back. That's not what I meant to ask you. Actually, I know. You are not a formal master, correct? What? But you are still my master. As long as we have made a contract, I will not betray you. There is no need for you to be so cautious. Crap. I can hear the words, but they don't really make any sense to me. I know she's calling me with a ridiculous word like master. That's wrong. My name is Master. Then I shall call you Shirou. Yes, I do like the sound of that better. As soon as she says my name, I think my face lit up on fire. Couldn't you call someone by their last name on a first meeting? How very Japanese. Wait a minute, why are you calling me? Pain suddenly runs through my left hand. It's burning! The back of my hand is burning. It feels like my hand is in a fire, and I'm under a strange mark that looks kind of like a tattoo. Very cool. What the... I just called a command spell, Shirou. It is the 3 claims on a servant's obedience and the life of a master. Please do not use it thoughtlessly. Like you will in about 10 minutes. Who? Before I can finish with who are you, the air around her changes. Shirou, Heal my wounds. She speaks in a cold voice. It seems her attention is on something far away, behind the wall, not me. What are you asking me? I'm sorry, but I don't know any such really hard magic. Besides, it's already healed. Saber frowns a bit. I think I said something wrong there. But I shall face them as I am now. The regeneration only healed the outside, but one more fight should not be a problem. One more what? There are 2 enemies outside. Judging by their presence, it should only take a few seconds to defeat them. Saying so, Saber jumps lightly. Just like Lancer, she leaps over the wall and disappears outside. I'm left alone in the yard. Enemies outside? As soon as I say it aloud, I realize what she means. Hold on, you're gonna fight again? My body starts to move. Without thinking, I run to the gate with full force. I run to the gate, unlock it with trembling hands, and jump outside. Saber, what are you— I search through the dark. The moon is hidden, now of all times, and it is completely dark. But I hear something nearby. There? I run to the small road with no sign of anyone on it. It all happens in an instant. Saber's confronting a kind of familiar guy in red. Saber runs at the man in red without hesitation, takes his guard down in one blow, and easily slashes the man in red. Saber raises her arm to finish him off. But right before the man in red's neck is slashed, he disappears as a powerful magic is cast. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes to the person behind the man in red and easily cuts off the large spell the person launches. What the— I knew she was strong, but this is just overwhelming. The spell right now was cast at a level of intervention magic that even I cannot even compare with. Father could use one as strong as that, but to cast such a natural intervention with that power instantly, I think even a first-class mage could do so. Saber nullified even that master-class magic. The enemy must be a mage, as the match is decided right there. The mage's attacks are no use against Saber, and she mercilessly attacks the mage. The sound of someone falling backward. The mage has miraculously dodged Saber's blow, but the enemy now can't move. Saber corners the enemy and points her invisible sword. My mind freezes. Probably because the moon lights up the scene for an instant. I can tell the figure Saber's pointing at is human. I can't tell who it is, but the image of Saber killing someone getting splattered by blood pops into my head. Saber moves. She'll pierce the enemy's throat with that thing in her hand. Stop, Saber! I scream as loud as I can. I cannot, but Shirou does. Give me a word for it. Her sword stops. Thank God I can't see her sword. The end of her invisible sword isn't wet with the enemy's blood. Don't. Please don't do it, Saber. I address her, glaring. Preparing myself to do my best to stop her. Why do you stop me, Shirou? She is Antra's master. We have to kill her here. No, Saber has no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I said so, and she's ready to bring her sword down at any time. I'm telling you to wait. You're calling me master, but I don't understand anything at all. If you're gonna tell me that, I think you should explain things to me at first. Saber doesn't answer. She only stares at me in silence. You're doing this in the wrong order, Saber. I still don't understand who you are. I'll listen if you talk, so please just don't do this. Saber is silent. Still pointing her sword at the fallen enemy, she looks at me discontentedly. What do you mean by that? Are you demanding ideals like not hurting anyone unnecessarily? What? Not hurting anyone necessarily. Well, it's true that we should avoid fights as much as possible, but I'm not so good-natured as to release someone who came to attack me. So you're saying do not take life, even if that is the enemy, correct? I will not obey such an order. The enemy is someone who you must defeat. If you still want me to stop, make me obey with your command spell. Seal, spell, whatever. I'm Talking about you. A girl shouldn't be swinging swords around, all the more so if you're hurt. Oh, wait, I don't even know if that's a sword or not, huh? Anyway, you can't do that. Saber looks dumbfounded, taken aback. Like I just said something fucking stupid. How long were we standing like that? So when will Saber-san lower her sword? The figure on the ground suddenly speaks. Saber suddenly concentrates her attention on her sword. Give up. I have no sword to lower in front of an enemy. Even if your master says to lower it? Wow, so even Saber would betray her master, huh? Saber grits her teeth. But Saber lowers her sword and relaxes. With no command spell usage. Saber's hostility disappears, so she must have put away her sword as well. I see. Then it can stand up, right? The one on the ground stands up. She looks shameless, brushing her rear. Hey, wait a second. That sulky person is definitely... what? You're Tosaka? Yes. Good evening, Emiya-kun. Friend Tosaka replies with a big smile. That gets me. If you grease me normally like that, everything that happened up till now seems like a dream and... No, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy would things be if it did? Well, you wouldn't have to go through with this, so maybe that easy. No, well, so you're using magic right now, that means... I'm a mage. Well, we're the same, so it's not like something I need to hide. When she replies clearly like that, it must make me seem stupid for asking. Let's talk inside. You don't know anything, right, Emiya-kun? Saying so, she walks towards the entrance. Wait, what are you thinking? And then, she turns and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one. Are you stupid? I'm thinking about a lot of things. That's why I want to talk to you. Emiya-kun, it's good to be surprised by sudden turns of events, but it could sometimes cost you your life, if you don't just accept it. Incidentally, do you understand that now is one of those times? Bluffing hard. He glares at me. It's fine if you understand, so let's go to your place. Just like it goes up through the gate. She's super pissed. It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now. She was almost killed. No, but still. Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? So, I'm in a strange situation. In front of me is the school's #1 idol whom I admire, Tosaka Rin. And following silently behind me is Saber, who calls himself a servant. Hallway suddenly feels like a different dimension. But I can't be a coward forever. I'm a mage, even if I am just an amateur. Tosaka Rin is a mage just like me. Is acting so fearlessly that I have to act firmly too. But I can only work out a few things. First about Saber, who's following me. I'm sure she's some kind of familiar, because she calls me master and I've made a contract with her. I hear a familiar is some kind of assistant for a mage. Most mages transfer part of their body to something and summon it as another self. For the other self, a mage usually uses like a small animal. It's simply because it's easier to take over the mind of something like a cat or a dog. Some mages use humans as their familiars, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times, if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of the mage's magical energy to sustain that familiar. But that'd be putting the cart before the horse. A familiar is something that assists the mage. To reduce the burden on a mage, it's commonly accepted that small animals are most suitable. So I've been taught, but... What is it, Shirou? Nothing. Saber looks human, no matter how you look at it. She's clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person. Or more than that, I don't have the magic circuit to summon a familiar. So, Saber must be something kind of unlike a familiar. She said she's a servant. I don't know what that is, but the man called Lancer and the man in red with Tosaka were the same thing. And it must be that Tosaka is also a so-called master. I just saw her magic skills. If I'm worth half a mage, she's worth about 3. But of course there's no point in comparing me to other mages when I can only use the strengthening magic. Anyway, Tosaka's freaking amazing. In any spiritually superior land, is a family of mages that looks after that land. The Emiya family only came to this land in Kiritsuga's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I don't think Tosaka... I don't know that the Tosakas were mages, and I don't think Tosaka knew that the Emiyas were a family of mages either. There are several mages in this town that I don't know about. If Lance is the familiar of another mage in this town, then does that mean I stuck my head into a conflict between mages? Please say mages more, Shirou! Wow, it's pretty big Japanese. It's pretty big. Japanese style is unusual for me. Oh, is that the living room, Emiya-kun? Saying so, Tosaka goes to the living room. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. I turn the lights on. It's already past 1 in the morning. It's so cold. What's this? The windows are broken? I couldn't help it. I was attacked by, that Lancer guy. I was just kind of desperate. Oh, I see. Then were you fighting him alone until you summoned Saber? I didn't fight him. He just beat me up. Oh, so you didn't try to show off, huh? I see, I see. You really are just as you appear, Emiya-kun. Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka takes a piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and... Minuten von Schweren. I think that's how you pronounce that. She cuts the tip of her finger and puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is that? The shattered glass combines on its own to restores itself in a matter of seconds. Tosaka, that was... Just a small demonstration. It won't be enough to repay you for saving me, but I have to do at least this much. Well, I'm sure you'd have fixed it even if I hadn't, but that's just a waste of magical energy, right? All you have to really do is replace the window, but we don't want to talk in this cold, do we? She says so as if it's something natural. But needless to say, her skills are beyond my understanding. No, that's amazing, Tosaka. I can't do that sort of thing, so I'm really glad you fixed it. Huh? There's no way you can't fix it. Handling glass is so elementary. Throwing glass that broke a few minutes ago is like only an admission test for any school, right? So that's how bad it is? I was really only taught by my father, so I don't really know the basics or elementary stuff. Huh? Tosaka freezes. Damn. I guess I said something I shouldn't have. Wait. Then you're saying that you're just an amateur and can't even run your own workshop? I don't have a workshop. Well, I do have that tool shed in the training area, but I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my workshop. I think it's impossible, but I'll ask anyway. Would it be that you don't know how to handle the 5 main elements? Or how to make a pass? I don't even know what she's talking about. You mean flirting with you? I guess not. That's scary. She's so beautiful usually, but she looks pretty scary now. Then what are you, just an amateur? I mean, it's not entirely true. I can at least do strengthening magic. Strengthening. That's It's awfully odd magic, so you can't do anything other than that? Tosaka glares at me. Well, to be honest, probably not. Her glare makes my answer vague. Jeez, why did Saber get summoned to a guy like this? She sighs. That kinda bugs me. I've been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think it matters right now. Well, I don't really care. There's no point in complaining about what's already happened. More importantly, I have to pay back my debt right now. Tosaka takes a breath. Well, I'll begin. Emiya-kun, you don't know what kind of situation you're in now, right? Uh, yeah. I thought so. Well, I could tell easily, but I have to confirm, right? It's only putting flap in my mind if I tell someone that already knows about it. I think that was kind of a weird phrase, but I stay quiet, and I think she'll beat me up if I make fun of her now. I'm gonna do it later, though. To put it bluntly, you have been chosen as a master. You have a holy sign on one of your hands, right? On your hand or on your arm, there are personal differences, but there should be 3 command spells engraved. That's the sign of a master. On my hand. Oh, this? Yes. It's also a spell that rules the servant, so take care of it. It's called a command spell, and you can retain control over your servant as long as you have it. What do you mean as long as I have it? The command spell is an item of unconditional obedience. I think you've already realized that the servants have their own will. That mark overrules that will and makes them obey your command. There's no spell needed to activate it, and it'll be activated when you put your mind to using it. But you'll lose 1 for every time you use it, so make sure you only use it twice. If you lose all your command spells, you'll be killed, so be careful. Oh, what do you mean I'll be killed? That's right. It's fundamental to the Holy Grail War for Masters, to kill other Masters. And the Master that kills the other 6 Masters is awarded with the Holy Grail. What? Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, part about Masters killing other Masters? And part where the winner gets a Holy Grail? You mean that Holy Grail? You still don't understand. Put it simply, you've been dragged into a game. A survival game between 7 Masters. A game called the Holy Grail War. A battle royale between the Masters that won't end until you kill all other Masters. Tosaka Rin states so as if it's the most natural thing in the world. The phrase swirls around in my head. I have been chosen as a master. Tosaka says she's a master. Familiars called the servants, and battle to the death between other mages called the Holy Grail War. Wait, what is that? What are you talking about all of a sudden? I understand how you feel, but I'm just telling you the truth. Besides, you should understand deep down. You know you're in a situation you can't run away from, having almost been killed by a servant twice now. That's... I mean, I was certainly almost killed by that Lancer guy, but... And then one of those kinds was a little more than almost. Anyway, oh no, that's wrong. In fact, you weren't almost killed. You were actually killed. I'm surprised you're alive again. The Saga comment finishes me off. That's right. That guy killed me. And I really did die. No excuse, no negotiation was possible. It was just someone who had to be killed. So, even if I do deny this battle to the death that I cannot understand, the others in it will not withdraw. You get it now? Then I'll go on. I don't know exactly what the Holy Grail War is, but I do know that every few decades 7 masters are chosen and given servants. I'm also chosen as a master. That's why I made contract with the servant, and you made contract with Saber. Think of the servant as a familiar, given to you by the Holy Grail to win the Holy Grail War. And as masters, we are to work together with our servant to kill other masters. Tosaka's description is too brief for me to understand. there is one thing I do wonder about. Hold on, you say Saber's a familiar, but I'm not convinced. Familiars are things like cats and birds, right? Well, I do hear that some use human ghosts, but Saber has a body. Besides, she doesn't look like a familiar. I glance at Saber. Saber is quietly listening to our conversation. She looks just like a human being. I don't know her identity, but she's a girl about my age. Just having a girl like her near me is more than enough, so I don't get it when she tells me that Saber is a familiar. And besides, my heart's kind of pounding right now. Familiar, huh? Well, servants are in that category, but they are on a different level, because that girl over there is a ghost liner, considered to be the strongest of all familiars. Ghost liner? Then do you mean she really is a ghost? A human ghost that stopped living a long time ago. The remaining minds of those with strong abilities who remain in this world even after they die. But it doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't have bodies. A ghost can only be hurt by ghosts. So, as I have a body, a ghost shouldn't be able to kill me. A ghost, huh? Seems similar, but Saber would kill you if you compared her to one. Servants are heroes of the past given bodies, beings surpassing humans, more like spirits. Heroes... I'm just gonna keep repeating everything you say back at you, because I don't know shit, girl. That's right. A legendary hero was pulled from the past, or present, or whatever, and given a body. Also a future. Well, it's the role of the master to summon them, and the Holy Grail does the rest. It's impossible for a mage to give shape to a soul, so we're assisted by a strong artifact. Hero of the past... I'll look over at Saber. Then she's a heroine from the past too? Well, if that's true, that nobody would dress like that now, but still. That's impossible. I've never heard of any such magic. Me, noted magic enthusiast Shirou. Of course not. This isn't magic. Think of this as a phenomenon created by the Holy Grail. It's impossible to recreate a soul and give it a body without it. Recreation of the soul. So she's not a ghost. No. Haven't you been taught that any humans, animals, or machines that leave a great achievements behind get removed from the ring of reincarnation and sublimate into beings of higher rank? That machine thing is... I did not expect that to come back. Heroic spirits are like that. Put it simply, they have been worshipped and made into artificial gods. It's not entirely accurate, but it's not inaccurate either. Ghost magic, such as supplicating ghosts, uses heroic spirits to make miracles happen. But the servants are familiars of the heroes themselves. So they accompany you in spirit form, but if need be, you can give them form to make them fight. So they can be physical and not. I don't see yours, so I guess he's in spirit form right now? No, he's healing his wounds in the summoning circle at my house right now. Saber wounded him just now, right? If I hadn't withdrawn him by force, he would have had his head chopped off. Look, the only ones that can beat these servants are other servants. Except in other times when... Let's not worry about it. So spirits like them. We can hit them too if they take form, so we might be able to beat them. But servants are all strong as monsters, right? So we let monsters deal with monsters. The master usually supports them from behind. Sasaka's explanation irritates me for some reason. He calls them monsters, but I don't think about the other servants. And I don't know about the other servants, but I don't want to think about Saber like that at all. Anyway, someone who becomes a master must kill the other masters using his servant. Do you understand it so far? In words. Yeah. Theory, maybe. But I'm not convinced. That's not... Girl. To begin with, who started such a thing and why? That's not something I would know about, nor should I answer. It's easy to put that kind of question to the one overseeing the Holy Grail War. The one thing I can tell you is that all you can do right now is fight, and servants are powerful familiars, so you should use them wisely. Tosaka says so, and now turns to Saber. So from what I hear from Emi-kun, you must not be in full form, Saber. You were summoned by an apprentice mage who has no idea how to be a master. Yes, I am not in full form, as you say. Since Shirou does not have the magical energy to give me form, it'll be difficult for me to turn into a spirit, or to replenish my magical energy. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you were in such a bad state. But I didn't think you'd tell me honestly. I was wondering how to find out your weaknesses. I do not wish to let others know of my weakness, but I do not think I can fool you. It would be meaningless to hide our situation from you. So it will be better for us to tell you of our situation, and to have Shirou better understand the situation he's in now. Correct. And you have a good personality, too. Jeez, I'm regretting even more now. If I was your master, I would certainly won this war. Tosaka clenches her fists in anger. Tosaka? You mean I'm not fit to be her master? Of course not, idiot. Wow, she just said something any normal person would have trouble saying. That's Tosaka. What, do you have more questions? She doesn't even realize it. Her honor student image from her school crumbles inside me. Good going, you say. Tosaka certainly shows no openings, just like a devil. Well, we're done talking, so let's get going. Tosaka suddenly says something weird. Go where? We're going to see the guy who knows all about the game you're involved in. The Holy Grail War. You want to know the reason behind it, right? Well, yeah, but where is it? It's already kind of late. I want to go to bed. It'll be fine. It's in the neighboring town, so we should be back by dawn if we hurry. And besides, it's Sunday tomorrow, so it should be fine to stay up late. That's not really the problem. It's just that a lot of things happening recently, so I want to have time to rest and think about them. What, you're not going? Well, if you say so. Well, what about you, Saber? Tosaka asks Saber. Hold on, this has nothing to do with her. Don't push her. Oh, you're already feeling like a master? Don't want me talking to Saber? That's not it. It's just that if what you said is true, then Saber's a heroine from the past, right? So she wouldn't know how this time is since she was just summoned. So... Shirou, that's wrong. Servants can adapt at any time, so I know... Oh. Shirou, that is wrong. Servants can adapt at any time, so I know a lot about this age as well. Really? Yes, this is not the first time I have been summoned in this age. What? No way. What are the chances of that? Hey, Tosaka's surprised too. So that must mean Saber said something really cool. Sure, I agree with her. You lack experience as a master. As a servant making a contract with you, I want to be stronger. Saber stares at me silently. It is a gentle stare that's worried not for herself, but for me. Alright, I'll go. So where is this place, Tosaka? It's a place we can come back from, right? Especially on like a bus or something? Of course. We're heading to the Kodomini in the neighboring town. That's where the false priest, the one who oversees the battle, is living. Tosaka makes an evil smile. It looks like she's having fun dragging me around while I don't know anything. It might be prejudice, but I'm beginning to feel like there's a problem with her personality. You're definitely right, bro, but you also tap her in like 2 other separate timelines. We walk through the nighttime town. It's past 1 in the morning, and there's no one out at this time. The lights in the houses are out, and the only street lamps illuminate the silent town. Hey, Tosaka, you planning to walk to the neighboring town? Yeah. The buses and trains have stopped running. A walk at night is good once in a while, right? So many mango have said. I see. Then, if I may ask, do you know how long it takes to get there by foot? Well, it should be an hour walking. If it gets late, we can always take a taxi. I don't want to waste that kind of money. And besides, what I mean is, it might be dangerous for girls to walk around at a time like this. You know it's dangerous, right? I'm not going to be responsible if something happens. Even though I'll be right beside you the whole entire time. Don't worry, nobody's going to mess with us. You may be forgetting, but Saber's really strong. Yeah, but she's also a girl, so... Oh. Yeah, she is right. Whoever it is, if someone attacks her, they'll be counterattacked viciously. She also carries a freaking broadsword on her, man. Rin, what is Shirou saying? I do not quite understand. Huh? Well, he was just making a big misunderstanding, or being fucking stupid. He's saying he'll help us if some pervert appears. What? Shirou is my master. I should be protecting him instead. I don't think he's thinking about that sort of thing. He seems not concerned about maidens and servants after all. I kinda wonder what's going on in his head. I'm being dunked on. So Flock and Saber now know each other well enough to talk to each other. Saber's been silent ever since I stopped her from going out dressed like she was. She said she wouldn't take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat. She's been quiet ever since. Now she follows me and only speaks to Tosaka. Wait, where are you going, Yumi-kun? Isn't that the wrong way? We need to get to the bridge, right? This will be a shortcut. I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to walk alongside them, so I quickly make my way to the small side road. Bro, you're gonna save them from perverts, but you also don't want to walk alongside them? They follow me without objection. He really just made of assumptions. We come out to him park. We have to cross that bridge to go to the neighboring town of Shinto, but... Wow, I didn't know about this road. I see. Since you can get to the bridge from the park, all you have to do is head for the park. Maybe it's just because it's nighttime. Sasaka's face looks at the bridge and seems more beautiful than at school. Which is troubling. Let's go. We didn't come here to play around. I hurry Tosaka, who's standing at the park, and make my way up the stairs. Once we reach the road alongside the bridge, Shinto will be straight ahead of us. There is no one on the bridge. It's only natural as not many people use it even during the daytime. It's more normal to use the bus or the train to get into the neighboring towns. The bridge is rarely used. That's because it's so long and it carries the fear that it might collapse on you. I guess it's old too? That must be why this place isn't used for dates, even though it's the perfect location-wise. What am I thinking? That's stupid. Saber's following me silently, and Tosaka's walking right beside me. Trying to ignore them, I hurry across the bridge. Beyond the bridge, Tosaka leads us into the suburbs. When I think about Shinto, only the office buildings in front of the station come to mind. There are streets from older times once you get away from the station. The suburbs are the most extreme of those. There are hilly roads and high ground overlooking the sea. If you go farther up the hill, there are fewer buildings and the foreigner cemetery built on the slope of the hill that can be seen. The church is up here. You must have been there at least once, right? No, I know it used to be an orphanage, though. I see. This will be your first time today. You should prepare yourself. The priest there is a difficult man to deal with. Tosaka starts up the hill. Looking up, I can see the building at the top of the hill. A church atop the hill. I never thought I'd visit God's house for the first time for a reason like this. Wow. It really is awesome. The church is magnificent from an architectural standpoint. The whole top of the hill must be the church's land, as a flat field welcomes me as soon as I reach the top. The church isn't that big, but it's compelling, towering over its visitors. Chiro, I shall remain here. What? Why? I can't just leave you when we've come up here together. I did not come for the church. I followed to protect you. If your destination is the church, you should not go any further. So I shall wait here until you return. Don't think anything can happen to you in there, Saber said clearly. It doesn't seem like she'll budge an inch, so I decide to respect her decision. Alright, I guess I'll be going. Yes. Please do not let your guard down, whomever you are facing, Master. It is a large, impressive chapel. Since it's so large, many people must come here during the day. If he's entrusted with such a church, the priest here must be a man of character. Hey Tosaka, what kind of person is the priest here? It's kind of hard to explain. I've known him for years, but I still can't grasp his character. You've known him for 10 years? It's a pretty long relationship. Is he like a relative of yours or something? He's not my relative, but he is my guardian. On top of that, he's my senior as an apprentice. And my second teacher. Senior as an apprentice? You mean like as a mage? That's right, but why are you so surprised? Well, he's a priest. Aren't priests, like, forbidden from using magic? There's like a whole alternate universe storyline based around that. I'm gonna be playing later, but like later. I don't know how from now. Anyway, by their nature, a mage and the church can't be in harmony. The organization that mages belong to is called the Mages Association. And the other side of religion, the side you won't see while living a normal life, is called the Holy Church. Kind of plain named, but it's different. The two are barely similar. They cooperate in name, but they're always trying to kill each other when given a chance. Church hates heretics. They totally eliminate the inhumane, and they count magic using humans among their targets. For the Church, miracles are only given to the chosen holy saints. Any miracles handed by other people are heresies. There's no exceptions, even for those within the Church. The higher one rises in the Church, the more one is prohibited from the impurity of magic. For a follower entrusted with a church like this, and the more divine protection one receives, the more one should stay away from magic. No, first of all, is the priest here on our side? Yes, he's the one supervising the Holy Grail War, after all. He's a real agent. Well, I don't know if he has divine protection, though. Tosaka's footsteps echo as she approaches the altar. It's bad manners to do that when the priest isn't here, but that's so late at night. He won't be in the chapel, so if he's anywhere, it'll be in the private room in the back. So who's this priest? You said a name like Kotomine before, right? His name is Kotomine Kirei. He's a student of my father, and we've had an inseparable relationship for 10 years now. Well, I've never met him, though. I feel the same way. I did not want an apprentice who did not respect her teacher. A footstep. He must have noticed our entry as he slowly appears from the other side of the altar. You didn't answer my repeated calls, and now you bring a strange guest. Is he the seventh one, Rin? Right, he's a mage, but he's pretty much a beginner, so I just couldn't let him be. I believe it was the rules to report here when one becomes a master, right? It's a rule you invented, but I'll follow it this time. Very well, then I must thank this young man. The priest called Kotomine slowly turns to me. Without realizing it, I take a step back. He's not scary, and I don't feel any hostility. But the priest still has a presence that makes the air around him feel heavy. I am Kotomine Kirei, the one entrusted with this church. What is your name, Seventh Master? Emiya Shirou, but I haven't agreed to this master thing yet. I glare back at the priest, trying not to lose against his presence. Emiya Shirou. Huh? The weight of my back turns into a chill. The priest slowly smiles as if he met someone pleasant. That smile, it makes me... I thank you. Emiya, you have brought Rin here. If it were not for you, she would not have come. The priest makes his way towards the altar. Tasaka moves away from the altar and stands beside me. Then let us start. Emiya Shirou. You are Saber's master, correct? That's wrong. I did make a contract with her, but I don't really understand this whole Master Holy Grail War thing. If a master should be a proper mage, then you should probably go and find a more suitable person. I see. Look, it's serious. Does he really know nothing, Rin? I told you he's a beginner. Train him from the very first steps, will you? He's really good at that, right? Tosaka urges the priest. You were really good. Oh, I see. That's how it is, huh? I understand. The first time you've ever depended. I understand. The first time you ever depended on me. Emiya Shirou, I cannot thank you enough. Father Kodamine laughs. The conversation makes me feel uneasy. First, let us correct your misunderstandings. Listen, Emiya Shirou. Master is not a role you can give to someone else, nor is it something you can stop being once you are chosen. Those who have the command spells carved on them cannot resign from being a master. You must accept that fact. Why not? I want to quit. The command spell is a holy mark. Becoming a master is a trial placed upon you. You cannot escape it just because it is inconvenient. You cannot be released from that pain until you obtain the Holy Grail. If you wish to retire from being a master, all you can do is obtain the Holy Grail and wish for it. If you do that, everything will be as you desire, Emiya Shirou. Your wishes? Even cleaning out all the mud inside you is possible. Yes, it is even possible to start everything over again. Therefore, you should desire it. If the time comes, you will appreciate being chosen as a master. If you wish to erase those burns that cannot be seen, all you have to do is accept that holy mark. I feel dizzy. The priest's words don't make any sense. It just confuse me more and more as I listen. But still, his words soak into my brain and clot like blood. Kirei, don't go off topic. I asked you to tell him the rules. I didn't ask you to open up his old wounds. A voice cuts in. Tosaka? That clears up my dizzy head. I see. It was pointless to say anything to these kinds of people, so I was trying to take away his morality while he still misunderstood. I guess it's true that compassion is not good for others, and I rather enjoyed it too. What, does it do you good to help him? Of course. Helping people means saving yourself in the end. Well, it won't do any good to preach to you now. So let us return to the main topic, Emiya Shirou. The battle you have been dragged into is called the Holy Grail War. Have you learned from Rin that it is an all-out war between seven masters using 7 servants? I did. Some ridiculous thing where 7 masters kill each other, right? Indeed, but we are not committing these inhuman acts because we want to. Everything is a ritual to determine who's the most suitable to receive the Holy Grail. Because of its greatness, we require trials to determine its owner. What trials? I bet this priest doesn't think about the Holy Grail thing as a trial. Hold on, you keep saying Holy Grail War. Well, what is it? You can't possibly mean, like, the actual for real Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail. A grail said to have received the blood of Christ. It is considered to be one of the greatest holy relics, said to be capable of many miracles. Many such miracles. The most common rumor about it is that the one who obtains the Holy Grail will obtain the world. But that's just an invention, after all. The Holy Grail itself is almost something that exists, but doesn't exist. The Holy Grail that makes wishes come true certainly appears in many folklore and legends around the world. But that's it. A fictional power that doesn't exist and isn't possible. That's the Holy Grail. So, answer, Kodomine Kirei. Is the Holy Grail you're talking about really the Holy Grail? Of course. The Holy Grail that appears in this town is real. As a proof, the great miracle of the servants has occurred. Summoning and controlling past heroes. No, a miracle close to resurrecting the dead is almost true magic. The Holy Grail with this much power shall grant its owner unlimited power. The object's unreality is worthless in front of that truth. So, he means that even if it is fake, it doesn't matter if it has the powers that would overwhelm even the true Grail. Alright, let's assume that there really is a Holy Grail. Why is it required to do something like Grail War? We shouldn't be killing each other if the Holy Grail exists. If the Grail's so great, we can all share the power. That is a fair argument, but we do not have such freedom. Only one person can obtain the Holy Grail. It is not something we choose, but what the Holy Grail has decided. The Holy Grail decides the 7 masters and summons the 7th servant. I told you this is a ritual. The Holy Grail chooses the people able to sustain it, suitable to obtain it, and selects its appropriate owner by making them fight for it. That is the Grail War, the ritual where those chosen by the Holy Grail kill each other to obtain it. Priest speaks plainly. I have no rebuttal, and I look down at my left hand. There is the mark they call the command spell. It must mean that as long as I have this mark, I can't quit being a master. I'm not convinced. Even though only one person can be chosen, I don't like the idea that all we can do is kill the other masters. Huh? Hold on. You're misunderstanding if you think that you have to kill them. There's no need to kill the other masters. But you said you have to kill each other. But I mean, it just said it too. You will kill each other. Shut up, Kirei. Now, the Holy Grail in this town is in spirit form. It's not something with form, so it's something we have to call forth by a special ritual, meaning we have to materialize it. We call for it as mages, but since it's in spirit form, we can't reach it. Do you understand what that means? Yeah, only spirits can touch other spirits, right? That's why you need the servants. Smart. Exactly. To put it simply, the goal of the Holy Grail War is to eliminate all the servants except for your own, so there's no rule that we have to kill the masters. You could have told me earlier! Honestly, Tosaka this priest for being me. Now I'm relieved. So even if we enter the Holy Grail War, Tosaka's not going to die. I see. That is one way to think. Then let me ask you, Emiya Shirou, do you think you can beat your own servant? Beat Saber? That's not possible. In the first place, magic is useless against her, and she's skilled with her sword. Then let me ask you one more thing. It is a boring question. Do you think you are superior to your servant? What's he saying? I can't beat Saber. This is in a way I'm superior to her. For this question, my answer will always be that I'm weaker than my servant, so... That's right. Servants are hard to defeat even with a servant. So what should you do? See, it's such a simple solution. Servants can only exist with a master. No matter how powerful the servant is, the servant will disappear if the master dies. So, yeah, that's the natural solution. No one would choose to take the hard way. If you want to win, the most effective way to kill the servants would be to kill the master instead. Okay, I understand that killing the master is an effective way to eliminate other servants. But then if the servant is killed, does that make someone not a master anymore? Only servants can touch the Holy Grail, right? There's no point to a master that doesn't have a servant. No, the right to be a master still remains as long as you have the command spell. A master is a mage that can form a contract with servants. As long as you have the command spell, you can form a contract with servants. The servants whose masters are killed do not disappear right away. They can stay in this world until their magical energy runs out. If such abandoned servants exist, a master with no servant can form a contract with them. This will allow them to rejoin the war. That is why masters kill other masters, because if you allow them to live, there is a risk that they will impede you in the future. So then what if you use up your command spell? Then you won't be able to form a contract with the servants, and the freed servant will go off to someone else too. Wait, that's... Yes, you are right. If you use up your command spell, you will be liberated from your duty as a master. However, I do not think a mage exists that would waste a command spell that allows them to use such a powerful magic. Shit. If there exists such a mage, he isn't even an amateur, just a chicken. Priest laughs as if he knows what I'm thinking about. Pisses me off. Priest is making fun of me. I think he's trying to provoke me. Tone of voice pisses me off. You must understand now, so we will finish the explanation of the rules. Well then, let us return to the beginning. Emiya, Shirou. You said you have no intention of being a master. Do you still feel that way? If you want to abandon your responsibility as a master, that is fine too. As you have realized, you may use up your command spell to end your contract with Saber. In that case, I will guarantee your safety until the Holy Grail War ends. Hold on. Why do you have to guarantee my safety? I can protect myself. Clearly you cannot. You have a hole right over your heart and your clothes. I do not have enough free time to care for you either, but this is one of the rules. I have been dispatched to supervise the repeating Holy Grail War. This is why I must minimize the victims of the war. Protection of mages who lost their claims to being a master is one of my biggest responsibilities as the supervisor. Repeating Holy Grail War? Hold on. Does that mean this kind of battle has happened before? What do you mean? It didn't just start now? Of course not. Do you think a supervisor would have been dispatched if it were so? The Church bears a duty to recover the holy relics, as we are the lowest of the special agencies. Originally it was our goal to research and recover the true cross, but here we have a duty to investigate the Holy Grail. We have to investigate the 726th Holy Grail that has appeared in this far eastern land. We must recover it is real, and dispute it if it is not. 726? That many grails? Who knows? But it means that there have been at least that many things that have seemed like one. I wonder if Grand Order will end at a total of 726. Anyway, as one of those things, those is the Holy Grail from the Grail War observed in this town. According to records, it said that the first battle occurred about 200 years ago. Since then, the battles between masters have been repeating in a cycle of about 60 years. This is the 5th Holy Grail War. Since the last one was 10 years ago, this was the shortest cycle yet. Are you guys insane? You guys have repeated this thing 4 times already! I feel the same way. As you said, people have repeated this event many times. Yes. In the past, the Holy Grail Wars were terrible. Masters were driven by their desires, forgot their teachings as mages, and just killed each other indiscriminately. I think you already know, but it is the highest crime for a mage to use his magic in public. A mage cannot allow his identity to reveal to the public. But masters in the past have violated that. The Mages Association dispatched a supervisor to caution them, but they only made it in time for the 3rd Holy Grail War. The one dispatched then was my father. Do you understand now, boy? I mean, I get it, I think. From what you said, isn't this Holy Grail War fundamentally bad? Oh. And how so? I mean, past mages were people who could break the rules of mages, right? Let's say the Holy Grail thing really exists. What'll you do if someone who remains is someone who used the Holy Grail selfishly? It's bad if such a thing is obtained by someone who has no problem killing others. If it's the job of the association to look after mages, then shouldn't you guys be punishing those kinds of people? I ask a question with a little hope. But as expected, Kodamine Kirei laughs. Oh, you stupid boy. Of course not. There are no mages who will act outside their own interests. We only supervise the rules of the Grail War. We do not care what happens after. The Association is not concerned about the kind of person that obtains the Grail War, the Holy Grail. That's ridiculous. What if the master that obtains the Holy Grail is the worst guy possible? That would be problematic, but we can do nothing. It is the Holy Grail that chooses its owner, and we do not have the power to stop a master who has been chosen by the Grail. It is a Grail that makes wishes come true, after all. The one who obtains it will be able to do as he pleases. But, if you do not want that, then all you have to do is win it yourself. That is the most reliable way, isn't it? Kodamine is trying to hold back his laughter. It's like he's enjoying my clumsy inability to accept the facts. What's wrong, boy? I think it's a good idea. So, will you not accept it? That's none of your business. Anyway, I don't have any reason to fight. I'm not interested in the Grail, and I don't feel like a master even if you tell me I am. Oh, so you're not concerned about what the winner of the Holy Grail would do, even if it leads to disaster? I can't answer that question. His words are violent. They forced the truth onto me, whether I want it or not. That is fine, if you have no reason to fight. So, you were not troubled by what happened 10 years ago? 10 years ago? That's right. At the end of the last Holy Grail War, an unsuitable master touched the Grail. I do not know what that master wished for. All we know is the results of the disaster that came afterward. For an instant, the image of hell flashes in my head. Hold on. That can't be. It is. It is an event everybody in this town knows about. Emiya, Shirou. 500 killed or wounded. 134 buildings burned down. That inferno is still unexplained. It is the remains of the Holy Grail War. I feel sick. My vision blurs. I lose concentration and I can't focus my eyes. My body stumbles. But I hold myself firm. I hold on to consciousness by clenching my teeth. I hold back my nausea with the anger boiling up in me. Emiya-kun? What's wrong? You're pale white. I know it's not a comfortable story, but if you want, we can take a rest for a while. I must look terrible. I think it's very rare for Tosaka to be worried like that. Don't worry, it feels better after seeing your weird face. Hey, what is that supposed to mean? There's no hidden intentions about it. I mean it literally, don't worry about it. Well, fine. Hey, that's worse, you big oaf! School's #1 honor student, Tosaka Rin, smacks me in the head. Which does it. With that, the nausea and anger go away. Thanks. You really did help. Please don't bully me too much. I have a few more things I want to ask about. She looks like she hasn't hit me enough, but she lets me continue. Oh, you still have questions? Alright, let out everything you want to say. You should know what I want to ask, but he asked me to go on. Fine. Emi Shirou's not going to lose to you. Then I'll ask. You said this is the 5th Holy Grail War. Then, has anybody ever obtained the Grail? Of course. A sad event like that annihilation doesn't happen every time. Then, do not be hasty. It is easy just to obtain it. After all, the Holy Grail is managed in this church. If you speak of just touching it, I touch it every day. Holy Grail's in this church? Of course, it is only the vessel. It is empty. When said earlier, the Holy Grail is in spirit form. What we maintain is a well-made replica of the Grail. What we use it as a catalyst to draw the real Grail, and transform it into a Grail that grants wishes. It is like the relationship between servants and masters. Yes, there was indeed a man who obtained the real Holy Grail, but rarely using that method. Then, was that Grail real? Wait, what happened to the guy who owned it? Nothing. The Holy Grail was imperfectly completed. It was the result of a foolish man, affected by sentiment. With the previous pressure gone, the priest narrows his eyes as if in regret. What do you mean? Didn't the Grail appear? It is easy to make the Grail appear. Once the 7 servants are present, the Holy Grail will appear in time. As Rin said, there is no need to kill other masters. But that does not complete the Holy Grail. That thing decides its own appropriate master, and for that reason, it could not be obtained by a man who avoids battles. So that just means it's useless to obtain the Holy Grail without settling matches with other masters. The master who obtained the Holy Grail first in the last war was just a chicken. He ran away from the Holy Grail, saying he didn't want to fight other masters. Saying so, Tosaka looks away from Kotomine. No way! Does that mean Kotomine was one of the masters in the last war? And he retired because he refused to fight, in spite of obtaining it? Which I'm pretty sure is different from Zero, if I remember right, but I didn't really finish Zero, so who knows. Kotomine? You didn't fight? I did until halfway, but I made a bad decision. As a result, I only obtained an empty Holy Grail. Well, I was at my limits anyway, because the other masters were all monstrous. I lost my servant first and was taken under my father's protection. When I think of it, it was inappropriate for a son of the supervisor to be chosen as a master. Father died at that time. Since then I have succeeded in the role of the supervisor, and I protect the Holy Grail at this church. Saying that, the priest called Kotomine Kirei turns around. Before him stands the symbol of worship. That is the end of our conversation. The only ones qualified to obtain the Holy Grail are those who have servants. When there is only one of you left, the Holy Grail should naturally appear in front of you. Tell me of your decision as to if you want to join this battle, the Holy Grail War, now. The priest requests my final decision. I'm at a loss for words. I had no reason to fight until just now. Now I have a reason to fight and a will to fight. But can I really accept that? Are you still undecided? Look, a master is not something you can be just because you want to. Rin's been training long as a mage, but it was not determined that she would be a master. All that could be decided beforehand was whether to prepare her for it or not. Only mages are chosen as masters. If you are a mage, you should already be ready. I guess it cannot be helped if you say you are not. You and your teacher were failures in that case. It is merely annoying for such a mage to be fighting, so get rid of your command spell now. Doesn't need to ask. I can't believe Heroic is the first one. I fight. I'm not gonna run away. Honestly, this Holy Grail and Master stuff don't seem real to me. But still, if there are only two choices, fighting or running, I will never run away. Reed said it too. If I'm a mage, I should be ready. That's why I must decide. Even though I'm an amateur, Emiya Shirou is a mage. If I've decided to become a superhero in the footsteps of Emiya Kuretsugu, whom I've admired all this time, I will fight as a master. If the cause of that fire 10 years ago was the Holy Grail War, I can't let it happen again. Oh shit. As if he likes my answer, the priest smiles with satisfaction. I take a deep breath. I have cut away all hesitation. As a man, I said I will fight. So from now on, all I have to do is go forward with pride, so that I don't not go against my word. Then I shall approve of you as Saber's master. In this instant, the Holy Grail War is accepted. I approve the battle in this town, from now until only one master remains. Everyone shall follow their pride and compete fully against each other. The priest's voice echoes heavily through the church. There's no meaning to that declaration. Only Tosaka and I heard the priest's words. This man merely rang the starting bell as the priest of his church. So it's decided. Then I'm going home. But can I ask you a question too? I don't mind. This might be the last time, so I shall answer most questions. Then I shall ask, Kirei. You're the one in charge of looking after this, so you should have the information on the other masters. I've followed the association's rules, so at least tell me what you know. That's troubling. I really want to tell you, but I do not know the details either. Including Emiya Shirou, there are not many legitimate mages at this time. There are only 2 masters I know about. 3, including Emiya Shirou. Oh, I see. Still, you should know the order they were summoned. You are the supervisor, after all. Berserker was first, Caster second, the rest are pretty much the same. Archer was yesterday, and Saber was summoned a few hours ago. I see. Then that means... The Holy Grail War has officially started. Rin, you are not allowed to come to this church until the Holy Grail War is over. The only time it is permitted is... When I lose my servant, wish for protection, right? So I pretty much get points deducted if I come here for any other reason. That is correct. You may become the victor, but the church will not ignore points deducted. They will take the Holy Grail away from you after a boring discussion. That will be the worst case scenario for me. You fake priest. A person on the side of the church supporting the Mages Association. I am serving God. That does not mean I am serving the church. Whatever. That's why you're a fake. And Tosaka turns her back to the priest. After that, she makes her way to the exit without saying goodbye. Hey, is that okay, Tosaka? He, your fellow pupil, right? So, shouldn't there be more of a proper farewell? I don't care. I feel rather relieved breaking ties to him. More importantly, you should leave too. You have no business here now. Tosaka walks across the floor without stopping and really leaves. I sigh and follow her. And then, I feel a presence behind me and turn around. The priest who was behind me before I knew it is looking down at me. What? You have anything else to say? I back off as I say so. Just as I thought it. I don't really like him. Maybe we're just incompatible or something, but I can't get myself to like him. If you don't have anything to say, I'm leaving. I make my way to the door, trying to escape his stare. As I go. Yorokabe Shonen, your wish will finally come true. The priest says, as if declaring an oracle. Those words aren't those the true feelings I haven't yet realized? What are you saying all of a sudden? You should know. Your wish will not come true unless there is clear evil. Even if it is not something you approve of, a superhero requires a villain to defeat. I feel like everything has turned black. The priest has said it. Greatest wish and the ugliest wish I have are the same. Yes, the desire to protect something is at the same time none other than the wish for something to violate it. You... But there's no way I'd wish for something like that. I don't remember a moment I've wished for that. Such an insecure wish. This means the target ideals are inconsistent. The priest says as if to pierce my heart. Good thing you have an enemy now. No, you do not have to gloss over it. Your worries are right for a human being. I shake off the priest's words and walk to the door. Farewell, Emiya, Shirou. This will be my last warning, but take care on your way home. Your world may change completely from now on. You are at the point of kill or be killed. You are now a master. I think I could save it from there, guys. That's a full episode and some extra. Well, it's a full episode. But, if I try and go for extra, it's going to be too long, and I won't have enough for next time. So, sorry to keep you guys in suspense once again. It's just it's a beefy night. It's very long. There's a lot to go through. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in once again. I don't know when the Stay Night remake is going to get listed on Steam, but once it does, it'd be real cool of you guys to do that. Make sure you let Type Moon know that like these projects are cool, you like them, and you know it's cool. It's a cool and good idea to keep doing them. They can't. Grand Order can't carry them forever. Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys had a good time though. Putting me on in the background and listening, or you know, whatever it is you use me for. But yeah, if that's everything, and I do believe it is, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week, and take care of yourselves until I see you next time. Bye now.